Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Family or Fiance Season 2, Episode 12, Sayorra and JD. Y'all, this episode, oh my gosh, did y'all watch this episode? Like, baby, this episode was something else. Okay, if you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we meet Sayorra and JD. Actually, Sayorra was on Bad Girls Club, season 17, because I was trying to figure out where I knew her from. Bad Girls Club used to be my stuff. Do y'all hear me? Okay. I think I first started watching the season when Tanisha was on there. And baby, from there, it was up. Now, some of those seasons were a little bit lackluster later on, but Bad Girls Club used to be my ish. Do y'all hear me? So anywho, she was on Bad Girls Club and whatnot. So they met on a dating app, then they swiped right, and she was born in Uzbekistan. So she's Russian. Okay, so her family doesn't like him because in their culture, the man is the breadwinner. Well, honey, this one too, sis. I'm going to need you to win some bread over here as well. So they arrive at the house, right? Of course, they look around. Ooh, look at the ceilings. Oh my God, I've never been in a house this big. Say, all right, calm down, honey. You went into the Bad Girls Club, so you should know that they're going to put you in a house if they don't do nothing else. So they go in to sit with Tracy, and she asks how they met. So, they tell her, we met on a dating app. So Sayorra said they accidentally became official. She's like, yeah, we accidentally became official. She said, even the moving just kind of started, out of nowhere. He just started staying over forever. It's given homosexual. Okay. It's given, let me bring over my PlayStation and never leave. Honey, huge red flag. So then he said, when I saw her, I was just drawn to her. It's like, I knew her in another lifetime. You saw her on TV. Okay. And you ain't fooling me. You saw her and you said, that's the girl from the Bad Girls Club. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. And then you swiped right. Boy, please. So he tries to clean it up by saying, she didn't want the boyfriend title. She didn't want it. She didn't want the boyfriend girlfriend title. She was like, I didn't say I didn't want that. I had just gotten out of something. So then Tracy goes, well, JD, tell me a little bit about your relationship history. Never been in a relationship. I was playing focus on playing focus. Open your mouth. The thing that I hated about this episode is the fact that he was mush mouth. He was like mumble mouth. Mush mouth from the cartoon Fat Albert. I was like, what is going on? What are you saying? But it's every time I talk to somebody, get okay, whatever, child. That first of all, I wouldn't have dated him off the mere fact that I can't understand nothing you say without a closed caption at the bottom of it. Honey, we can't walk around with subtitles. Child, a fool. I was listening to him. I said, now what is happening? Oh, no, ma'am, honey. I cannot even understand you. Child, and he looked weird. Child was just a fool all the way up and through. Moving forward. So he stopped playing football to be with her. And Tracy asked how his dad feels about that. He's like, I hear about it every day. He always has something to say about me not playing football anymore. Okay, child, whatever, honey. He don't like it. Okay, let's continue. So Tracy said, I know there's like a relationship timeline. So then Sayorra was like, look, November 1st, they met. In January, I cheated. Sayorra, girl, honey, you couldn't wait, okay? So Tracy said, what made you think that was okay? So she gave some BS excuse about her not knowing if it was going to last. Honey, y'all live together. Well, it won't last if you cheat. Okay. And why would you use the word cheat if y'all weren't exclusive? So he left football to be with her. He decided that he was no longer going to focus on football. He was going to focus on Sayorra instead. He said, he thought that they were exclusive. Tracy said, so did you propose to her so she wouldn't slip away? He said, yeah. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Absolutely not. I know he has no experience as far as a relationship is concerned, but if a person loves you first, they wouldn't cheat. But more importantly, you won't have to trap them into staying. Someone will stay willingly. You don't have to hold them hostage. This doesn't, to me, I would have cut it right then. I would have been like, you know what? Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a pleasure, but there's nothing that I can do for you here. Okay, we're going to have to get some individual therapy. There's some kind of attachment issues and abandonment issues. There are a lot of issues, okay? More issues than Vogue. So I can't help you here, but thanks for coming. Baby, I would have ushered them right on out, honey, because this right here is already starting off to be some foolishness. So Tracy said, I feel like you're afraid to do football because you fear if you take her eyes off of her, you may lose her. So he was like, yeah. Oh, okay, honey. He just agreeing with all the foolery. She said, the financial strain is all on me, and, she got an OnlyFans. But she gonna say, I have a prescription-based, website. And Tracy said, okay, so what do you do on this subscription-based website? I sell sexy pictures and whatnot. Girl, you got an OnlyFans, okay? You got an OnlyFans, and that's that on that. So, sir, you quit your dream, proposed out of fear, aren't bringing in any income, and you're okay with your bride-to-be selling pictures of her body. Child, this is laughable. Honey, let's all laugh together. Ha, 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 ha. Like, what is this? Like, this has to be some type of joke. I know she's been on television before, so maybe they called her and said, Sayorra, what you doing on Tuesday? And she was like, nothing, just with this man. I ain't really with this man, and he kind of crazy. Y'all want us to show up? Because it has to be. Like, what in the world? You don't have no job, but then you picked up, and something that you could have turned into a career, you let that go to follow Sayorra and do whatever it is she wanted to do. She's in law school selling sexy pictures, and you're not bringing in any income. Okay. So Tracy asked who was coming for her. For her, her cousin, her mom, and her aunt are coming. She said her cousin sees their toxicity, and her aunt is her role model as far as the career is concerned. And they feel like he's going to dim her light. So her family basically feels like he's a leech. For him, his dad, JD, his brother, JD, his name is JD. I'm like, what is happening? Why are all your names JD? Child, this is the fool. They're coming, and so is his sister. So Tracy gives them their task, and hers is cooking and conversations. She's going to be making some traditional dishes from her culture, and she's going to be having a conversation with his family so that they can get to know her a little better. On his side, he's going to be doing fears in a hat. Her family will write down their fears, and he'll answer. In the next scene, her family arrives first, and they are not feeling him because he's not taking care of her. And then his family shows up. This dad, honey, got a special pimp look about him. Bishop Don Juan, honey. He has a very, I don't know how to explain it, honey, but the look is looking. He's got his hat to match his, his red shirt and whatnot. Honey, that wig is sitting on top of that sister's head. Honey, it's cocked to the side. And child, okay. Well, hey, family, come on in. So let me just explain something to y'all now. While I was doing this review, I was writing down notes as I went along. So my feelings throughout the episode, it changes. So in the first half of the review, you may hear some things where you're like, Misha, I don't know. But then in the second half of the review, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Okay, child, let's continue. So her mom is like, I've never seen anyone dressed like that with the red hat and the red shirt. Sis, it's called fashions. Get into it. Child, that is a mess. So then they go into the common room because they have to all voice their concerns, right? JD number 2's concern is, he said he's concerned with the fact that he doesn't know her. He's there to get to know the both of them, right? His sister's concerns are communication and trust. And his dad is concerned about him losing his focus because y'all remember he was playing football and then he left football so that he could keep tabs on Sayorra. Over on her side, her aunt's concern is that JD is jealous, and he can't be too jealous, honey. He letting other men see her sexy pictures. Well, I guess anything to pay the bills. That's not the same as a man just seeing her. I guess it's okay when she's getting paid for. She's also concerned that he needs to get a job. Her mom said, the same thing basically. He needs to get a job. He needs to provide. He's jealous. And her cousin's concern is that he may be toxic. Well, cousin, you had that right, y'all. And listen, the whole time that they were talking, y'all, his family was giving her the side eye the whole time. Baby, it's a stare down. The whole time they were voicing their concerns, his family was looking like, So the black man's not good enough for your daughter? Okay, carry on. Then Sayorra tells them about the task, and of course, everybody breaks up, right? So then we see his sister, and she's doing a little bit of a confessional cam, and she said she wasn't feeling the comment about him meeting her standards. She was like, my brother got standards too. They treat him like he's beneath her. Well, now her family is a little rude, honey, a little bit judgy. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first was watching the episode, I had a different perception of her family. I was like, why y'all judging this man? Honey, I mean, he doesn't have the job that y'all want him to have, But at the same time, he's still doing the best that he can do, and he's treating her like something. Or so I thought. Honey, y'all continue to listen. So JD's dad, JD Sr., said if he would have made it in football, it would have been a different thing. And then they wouldn't be talking about standards. Now, the brother is like, well, no, it's not about that. It's not about that, Dad. And so the sister and the dad was like, it's definitely about that. If he were in the NFL, they would have absolutely no problem with him, and they wouldn't be talking about standards. Okay, Dad, if he were in the NFL, yes, they would love him. But Dad, your son is being kind of bummy. Okay, he's allowing her to take care of him by taking sexy feet pics or whatever it is she's taking, honey, bikini pictures or whatever it is. You're going to watch your woman take pictures of her body to provide for you? Oh, child, honey, you need to be talking to your son, because this makes absolutely no sense. If he's not going to be doing football, honey, he needs to at least be working. I don't think it's anything wrong with her family wanting him to help provide. So they're in the kitchen, and she tells them that the dish she's going to make is potato soup. And that's so his dad said, you got some neck bones, some collard greens. Dad, pipe down, honey. Take your hat off in the house and pipe down. So she's telling them, I really feel like our values align and we have a lot of things in common. So his family said, well, does your family know that? Because they're putting a high value on his college education. And she said, yes, that's what they value. They value education, and they value a man taking care of his woman. So over where he is, honey, in the next scene, he gets ready to answer questions. They ask what his career path is, and he said real estate, right? So he's getting his payment this week. He was like, I will be getting my first payment this week. They're like, will be? Honey, yes, will be. Do you question your daughter this way? Is it appropriate in your culture to share pics of your body online? Honey, he's trying. Okay, he said he's going to be getting his first payment this week. When you're in real estate, you don't get paid every 2 weeks. You get paid after they close on the home, and then your check may come 30 days later. So, ma'am, pipe down. Honey, he said the money should be coming soon. It should be coming soon. So he's telling them that it's going to be a temporary thing just to bring money in. And they're just looking at him upside his head. Honey, these some judgy little heifers. Do y'all hear me? They're like, okay, and? Honey, and what else is going on? He said, and football. So they're like, well, you're not answering the question. Do you love football or what's going on? Because they want to know, is the money coming or not? Like, are you about to bring in the coinage to keep Sayorra or not? That's what they really want to know. So then they said, are you doing it because you love it or are you doing it for your dad? He said, I love Sayorra more than I love football. Over with his family, they're like, what do you do? She's like, yeah, I have a subscription-based website where I sell sexy pictures. I was shocked she even said that. And she said it so nonchalantly, like it was just what we do, like it was a 9 to 5. She was just like, yeah, I sell sexy pictures online. So his dad was like, huh? Yeah, If you can, you can hear, sir. She said she sells sexy pictures online. So the dad was like, you need to stop. You need to figure it out. Stop advertising. What you need to do is you need to figure it out. Dad, she's figuring it out. And so she was like, no, your son needs to figure it out. Honey, I know that's right. Moving forward. Over on the other side, they're telling him that he has a comfortable life. He was like, how do I have a comfortable life? She was like, you don't pay your rent. You don't pay your car note. You don't pay for anything. Sir, you don't pay for nothing? Well, then you are living a cushy life. They're absolutely right. If you're not paying for anything and you're not doing football anymore, then you're living a comfortable life. So Sayorra is trying to explain to them, your son takes sexy pictures of me that I've uploaded online. So the sister is like, oh, well, that must be new because he didn't tell us all that. He's not going to tell you that he's taking pictures for other men to watch his woman so that he can eat. Okay, he's not going to tell you that. So she's asking them about their mother, and his sister said, he was really little when the mom left, so he doesn't really remember her. And I was just listening to this, and as a mom, I cannot imagine leaving my baby. As much as he runs me ragged, and child, trust me, I need a break. I really do. I cannot imagine being without him. And I know that has caused some abandonment issues, which is probably why he's holding on so tight to Sayorra so she won't leave. But we're going to get into it a little bit later. Okay, I don't want to jump the gun, child. We're going to get into it as we get into it. So he's outside telling her family that he's possessive. Yeah, y'all heard that right, possessive. He said, what's mine is mine. That right there scared me. I didn't like that statement. Possessive, that's scary. I'm going to have to admit that. That's very scary. You don't possess people. You experience people. You possess things. Baby, that's cause for alarm. If that were me, if I were her family, if this was my sister, if this was my cousin, if this were my niece, I would be concerned about a man sitting in front of me saying that he possesses her. and what's his is his. And he said it with like so little emotion. And I was like, oh, he might be a little bit off. I mean, that's just what I'm gathering. In the next scene, they're sitting down to eat, right? Y'all know they always have the dinner. And she's crying because he doesn't trust her. Now, her tears to me seemed a little bit fake. Honey, she was crying all the way up and through, but I never really saw the tears come until a little bit later. I'm like, okay, this is giving me Karen. But, I mean, maybe that's just me. But, honey, you crying, but you cheated on him. So the tears seemed fake to me, okay? And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to fix it. His dad was like, God going to fix it. She need to pray. Now she need to pray, child. Oh, honey. It ain't nothing that God can't fix, child. But right now, honey, both of them need therapy. Your son definitely need therapy. And she needs therapy as well. It's not funny, but honey, that dad is a mess. So out of nowhere, his brother said, so how y'all feel about how she get money? Huh? How y'all feel about that? So her cousin was like, she's getting her money. Oh, okay. So it's okay for her to do something that's culturally inappropriate, which there's nothing wrong with having standards. Don't get me wrong. I want someone to provide for my, for my daughter or my niece or whatever too. I would love that. But it's the way that they're saying it. It's the way that they're wording it. They could say it a little bit differently. So JD tells the table that they think he's a bum and he can't bring nothing to the table. So his family jumps to his defense. His dad is standing all up saying another man might cheat on her. Another man might not treat her as good as he treats her. So they're fussing back and forth. And my thing is this. He needs to bear some of the burden. Treating me right, that's awesome. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for treating me right. Treating me right cannot keep a roof over our heads, honey. You're going to have to bring in some money. Dad, you need to make sure he's held accountable. Okay? He's not doing anything. So then her mom brings up, she's like, what about when you said that you possessed her? What about when you said that you were possessive? You said that. Remember, you said that. He said, I used the wrong word. He said, I meant protective. So then they start really going back and forth. She's like, no, you said possessive. No, you definitely meant possessive. Okay. You said it too definitively. So you meant possessive. But then the mom starts going, I'm scared. I didn't think that they were going to be yelling at us. I'm very scared after the dinner. Y'all were both piping up, ma'am. Y'all weren't screaming and yelling. They weren't cussing you out. I didn't like that because it made it seem like, oh my gosh, the black family is getting so irate. Everybody calm down. I didn't like that. That was a very caring move because, ma'am, you started pointing your finger, leaning all in. You said possessive. You said that. Remember when you said that? And then the minute that he said something, it was kind of scary. I didn't expect that they would be screaming at us. I mean, you're my future family. Why are you screaming at us? I'm a little bit scared. Ma'am, cut it out. Okay, cut it out. Now, in this moment, I did not see any hostility. Okay, I just saw the two families disagreeing on the fact that he needs to be bringing in money and the fact that he's saying possessive when that is the word that you meant, sir, and you ain't fooling me. I saw a disagreement between them and I saw them judging him. Okay, this is what I see so far. Now let's continue. So after the dinner, she's very upset and Sayorra's crying because she didn't understand why the dinner went the way that it went. And so she's telling her family, look, I chose him for a reason. I told y'all that he loves me. I love the way that he loves me. So please just stop this. So when she's talking to JD, he's like, everybody's just upset right now, babe. Don't worry about it. They're just upset right now. She's like, the divide is getting bigger. Like I thought we were going to be coming closer, but things are happening. He's like, it's okay. No, it's not, mush mouth, honey. We need to fix it, is what she's saying to you. Child, he does not listen to comprehend. Moving forward. It's day 2. They go to meet with Tracy. And he said he feels devalued. And she said she wasn't expecting all of the ruckus, right? So Tracy was like, walk me through the day. So what happened with the task? So she said, how her family was being very pretentious and she didn't really like the way that they were judging him and the things that they were saying. She wished that they would have worded it or handled it better, right? And it made her feel uncomfortable the way that they put him down. Me, personally, in this moment while I was watching, okay, I felt like she was just holding on, honey, hoping that he would go and get that NFL contract quiet as it's kept. But as the episode progressed, I know exactly the reason why she came on this show, okay? And it was to escape. And I remember Tracy saying to someone else, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the young lady with the wig that was sitting back. Like it was sitting way back. And she was with that older man, that older black man. And then she revealed that he was actually abusing her. I remember Tracy saying that people come on this show for one of two things: to get the family's blessing so that they can get married, or to get out of the relationship. And this episode, I think she came on here to get out of the relationship because he was hitting her with a, hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Like, child, he was not about to go, child. Woo. So then Tracy asked him about his task, and he said it wasn't good because they were saying that he was not meeting their standards, like he wasn't good enough. So Tracy said, well, are you meeting their standards? Yeah, maybe not with the education, but with the jealousy and with the career, yes. What? Let me translate it for you. He said maybe not with the education, but with the jealousy and the career, yes. Honey, no, you're not. Okay? You're not meeting their standards. Like, what are you talking about? This may be an unpopular opinion, but I got unstable vibes from him saying he possessed her. Okay, I didn't like that. I would not want my family member with a man that says something like, what's mine is mine. I didn't like that. That gave me chills all the way up and down my spine. I didn't trust it at all. Also, you aren't providing. Something is better than nothing, honey. The most alarming thing to me is he has no solid plan. That's the thing that's most crazy. And he's just flying by the seat of his pants. That's not good enough. Well, honey, it's not good enough for me. Like, you would have to bring something to the table, some type of blueprint. Have you thought out a 5-year plan, honey? Even a 5-day plan. Give me something. Besides a ring light and you standing in front of me with my iPhone 12 taking pictures. I don't think so. So then Tracy asked about the football. Sayorra said, your dad did say I was distracting you. So Tracy said, do you have anything you can build on? He mumbled something. Child, I'm not sure what he said. He needs to open his mouth up. Ugh. Child, it was so hard for me to watch this, y'all. It really was, because I didn't understand a thing that he was saying. Tracy said, okay, well, you need to build. Move away from the emotions and move towards a collaboration. Child, all that moving is how he got into this mess. Moving wherever she goes, honey. The moving is what's got us where we are. So Sayorra is saying, she feels bad about cheating on him, and now she feels like she has to stand trial in front of his family. Tracy said, so Sayorra, how did you come out of the task? She said, oh, just fine. I feel like I held my own, and they got a better understanding of me. Did you? Honey, it seems like y'all left the same way as you went in. Not liking or trusting you is what I felt, honey, or your family, for putting them down. But maybe that's just me, honey. Maybe I was watching something different. You did hold your own, and you were able to answer questions. But as far as them getting a better understanding, I don't think so. So Tracy said, so how about dinner? How did that go? He said, well, they belittled me. She said, the only reason it bothers you is because you think there's some truth to it. He said, yeah, I don't have an education. She said, well, part of you feels bad about that because when you know who you are and what you're doing, you don't care. Okay, I don't know if I agree with this. Okay, because having a degree isn't the issue. School is not for everyone. It's just not. You can pick up a trade. You can, tap into your talents, your creativity. The problem is he has no plan. That's what the issue is. So that's what's bothering him. So when they say, you're not providing or they're putting him down, the education has nothing to do with it. I don't think this man cares anything about education. I think it's the fact that he has no plan. And at first he was resting on his laurels and he was like, you know what? I'm going to play in the NFL. I'm going to be an NFL star. But that didn't happen. So now he feels bad about that. But as far as his education, I don't think he cares anything about that. And just because you feel belittled doesn't mean you think what they're saying is true. Someone's words can just pretty much be putting you down. Okay? Just because you say something to me doesn't mean I feel the same way about me, but your words can strike me in a way where you make me feel some type of way. It just means that they're speaking to you in a way that's demeaning. I mean, is it just me? Honey, y'all comment down below and tell me if someone says something to you and you feel belittled, does that mean that you believe what they say? Because for me, I feel like if you speak to me in a demeaning way, I'm going to take it that way and it's going to make me feel some kind of way. So Tracy said, it's hard for me to imagine you want to be with a partner that's so iffy. Is that right, Sayorra? Is that not concerning? She's like, yeah, but I believe in him and I love him, so maybe. Tracy looked at JD and she said, I don't think you have enough structure to be married. Okay, Tracy, you're spot on, honey. He does not have enough structure to be married. She said, you going through her phone and withholding information stems from a big insecurity of being left. And so then he takes a deep breath and Tracy was like, yeah, I know it's exhausting because it's easier to be mad at her mom because you have an external person to duke it out with, but the real issue is internal. She said, you need to handle issues surrounding your mom. So she said, look, I think we need to sit down with your dad to figure out what happened with your mom. And he said, I really don't care to hear why she left. I don't care to hear what happened. The why doesn't matter. It just matters that she left. So talking to his dad isn't going to help. He needs to seek counseling so that he can let out those suppressed emotions. As a child, I'm sure he placed blame on himself. That needs to be addressed before he attempts marriage. Because I'm sure he was thinking, mommy left because of me. Children think that way all the time. I know when I just need a moment to go into my room and close my door and decompress, when my son has been screaming and throwing things about the entire day, he's like, mommy, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. And I'm like, no, it's not your fault, honey. Mommy just needs a minute. So at his age, I can see him feeling that way. So imagine you being 3 years old and then your mom leaves or vanishes, as the dad says, and never reappears. Of course, you're going to think it was something that you did. So Tracy is trying to get him to see why it's important, and she feels like she needs to be there when he talks to his dad. In the next scene, he gets his dad, right? And he explains to him that he feels his problems with Sayorra is stemming from him not having a mother. So his dad said, I don't think it is, but I just don't think. I think you're grasping for straws at this point. I think him possessing her and holding on so tight, that has everything to do with the mom leaving. Everything. But also we need to address him not working. And another thing, why are we skating past Sayorra cheating? Like, we need to delve into that a little bit more as well. At first I was like, why are they just skating past this? This don't make no sense. All of that is the reason that they're having issues, because neither one of them feels safe. She doesn't feel safe that he can lead and provide as a husband, and he doesn't feel safe since she cheated. That's what I was getting so far. Okay, y'all hang on. This is what I was getting from the episode so far. But let's continue. Moving forward. So Tracy asks why his mom left, right? So here go the dad. He's still resisting. He's like, you want me to open up that can? If you want me to open up that can of worms, I can open up that can of worms. Open it up. Pop the top. We need to know, why did the mom leave? So he starts to say how his mom was in an abusive family, and the mom's family wanted her to marry a doctor and a lawyer. And, he got into it and he knew he was taking a risk, but he didn't know that this would come out of it. And he had to do the job of the mom and his as a parent, right? So Tracy asked, she said, so why did she leave? He said, she started to think I would do things to her like her mom did. Say what now? So you just said her parents were abusive. So were you abusive? Something is missing from this story, okay? The math is not mathing. The dad is sitting there acting like this is just something that he watched on Lifetime. And he's saying to Tracy, she thought I was going to do something to her like her family, when you just prefaced it by saying her family was abusive. So were you abusing the mama? He's like, yeah, I never heard from her again. Tracy said, not even a phone call, nothing. She just vanished. He said, yeah, she just vanished. Oh, honey, nobody vanishes off the face of the earth. Honey, I'm speaking directly to you. I don't know what kind of investigation or ID channel crossover we need to make happen. But honey, we need him dusted for fingerprints, and we need to go into that house and go down in the basement or in the attic, whichever one they got, honey, and look for remains, because something don't sound right. Child, now she just vanished. Oh, now, honey, something is not right. He's like, yeah, I never knew where she went, and she never reached back. But, I decided that I was always going to be there to take care of my kids no matter what. It was his choice of words. This family and the males in it, they scare me as a whole. First of all, JD number 3 used the word possessive. Then JD Sr. says she vanished. Now, I know to a lot of people this may not make a difference, but the choice of words scream foul play. Now, I may have been watching too much Fatal Attraction, okay, late at night, because that's like how I like to do. I like to watch that, and I like to watch First 48, honey. I like to watch all things. But when he said vanished, that was alarming to me. I said, not vanished, honey. Let me find out. That woman locked up in a basement somewhere. So then Tracy looks at JD, and she goes, so that's what you're experiencing. You're feeling like Sayorra is going to vanish. It's amazing that they're going through the same experiences without even knowing it. Maybe that's why the dad gets so upset, because he went through her family putting him down. Now, this is what I'm thinking in the beginning of the episode, okay? But now we're about to take a turn. Child, y'all stay with me. Moving forward. Oh, and side note, somebody commented on one of my videos and said that I say moving forward a little bit too much. Just for all of you that are new here, that is my transition. You cannot see me, so you don't know when I'm about to go to the next thing. You don't know what I'm about to say next. And I give my reviews in more of a storytelling type of experience. It's almost like an audiobook. So when I say moving forward, that means that the scene is changing. That means that things are happening. So if you don't like that, please feel free to click off of the videos as we proceed. Now, child, let's continue. So then Tracy tells JD that once he handles things internally, he won't be worried about what other people have to say. So Tracy was like, so what do you think about football? He's like, I feel like it's too late. And so she asked the dad, she said, how do you feel hearing that? He said, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I mean, he just got to keep pressing forward. He thinks that this brought him and his dad together. Because y'all are the same nuts. Okay? Y'all are nuts. So in the next scene, Sayorra was happy. Okay? I mean, she was twirling around this little dress. And she was like, look, I'm so happy about the way the day was going. And, I just wanted to have some drinks. So I changed into another dress. And the sound guy was coming in to mic me. And as he was coming in, JD was right behind him, right? So the mic guy was doing the sound check. Let's do a sound check for Sayorra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sound check and sing. So JD starts saying, see, this is what I mean. You don't pay attention. She's like, what? He said, you don't pay attention to the little things. And he's saying it in a very threatening tone, right? She said, tell me what I did. Was it the way I got mic'd? He said, we'll address it later. So he tells her that it was what she did after she got mic'd that made him upset. So then she goes outside to smoke a cigarette and he comes out. He's like, take the mic off. And then starts snatching it out of her dress. I said, oh, okay, I knew he was crazy. I told y'all, honey, I knew something wasn't right about him when he said, I possess her. I knew something was wrong. Oh, hell no, honey. Major red flags, honey. Flag on the play. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. Don't aggressively take anything off of me. Also, why on earth are you upset when you take sexy pictures for her to post online? I guess it's okay when she's being paid for it. Child, this don't make no sense. So they go into the restroom. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Don't come at me like that. Now, I don't know what he was doing in that restroom, but I'm just going to assume that he was manhandling her. Okay, I don't know if he actually hit her, but I know he was doing something that he was not supposed to do. Because why do you need to go into the restroom and close the door? So he's saying, she's a liar. And she's like, no, don't come at me. Okay, so this is the other side of it. He could potentially be dangerous. These two should not be getting married. He needs to be by himself for the rest of his life, just like his daddy, because the daddy said he never got remarried. So your wife up and vanished. Y'all never got a divorce. You never saw her again. She never called or reached back for her kids, and that's normal to you? Okay. See, that daddy can't get divorced because if he had to get a divorce, then they would have to search for the mom. And then they would find out that she's unalive. Now, honey, that's just what I came up with. But why would you let a person vanish and never divorce them or remarry? So the mom hears this, right? And she's coming up and she's like, oh my God, what is happening? This is not what I pictured for my daughter. They're arguing really loudly. It's getting aggressive. So she knocks on the door. Sayorra is sitting there crying and he's looking insane over the balcony, talking about, I got a little bit in front of myself. I got a little bit ahead of myself. You got a little bit ahead of yourself. No. You got crazy. You went out there, you snatched the mic off of her, and if you're doing this on camera, I can only imagine what you do behind closed doors. He is unstable. Honey, I wouldn't be able to continue with him. One sign of aggression and I'm out. Honey, I don't do that. If you can't get yourself together, honey, me and you, we cannot coexist. So, baby, that family started packing her up. Do y'all hear me, honey? They packed her up so quick and got her out of there. They got the heck out of Dodge. So they leave and the family goes to a hotel because they think that he's abusive. And, honey, I have to agree because being in an abusive relationship myself, I see all of the signs. Okay, at first, I really didn't see, I saw her family being a little bit judgy. But as soon as he said the word possessive, and it wasn't in a way where, you know how some people say, that's my possession. They say it, but it's like you don't get anything from it. When he said, what's mine is mine, that solidified that he was insane. Okay, well, for me anyway. Moving forward, it's day 3. So they go to meet with Tracy. As soon as they sit down, she starts to get emotional, right? So she says she feels like a hypocrite because she was trying so hard to dispel everyone's beliefs about his jealousy. And she was trying to explain it away because of her indiscretions in the past. And she's realizing that this isn't healthy, it's actually toxic. So then JD starts explaining that she pulled her dress up when she was getting Mike. She's like, he acts like he caught me kissing another guy. That's the way that he was responding. So Sayorra is trying to tell him that he dismissed her when she said she didn't do it on purpose. He was like, I heard you. I understand. She was like, yes, you said that you understood, but then you came upstairs and started going off on me because you feel like I purposely showed my behind to the guy that was miking me. You were upset. Someone else touched your possession. Okay, that's exactly what it was. So Tracy said, do you believe her? He said, I was in my head at the moment. I was just in my own head. She said, that's the problem. You were triggered. He said, can I not feel hurt? Am I not allowed to feel hurt? She said, I don't think you're seeing the bigger picture, because you're going to see a pattern of control, fear, jealousy, and that's dysfunctional. She was like, I was starting to believe that this was the only way that I could be loved, that he was the only one that could love me. And, I just see now that this is not it. Like, how could I have been so blind? Look, she needs to be concerned about when they leave. That's what I would be concerned about. The way he looked at her when Tracy noticed she wasn't wearing that ring. I said, oh, honey, I know that look. So Tracy was like, so how do you feel hearing that? She's telling you that it's over. Now, I think Tracy was trying to help her in this moment. I think Tracy was like, let me interject so that I can let him know that it is indeed over. He said, I'm sorry. So then Sayorra said, no, look, we're past that. So he starts talking about how when he talked to his dad, it helped him see how he really needed to behave and how he really needed to treat her. And I'm like, really, dude? My first abusive ex started out the exact same way, honey. I couldn't even say thank you to a male server without him getting upset. And it gets worse. And it never changes. So he's trying to scramble for her not to leave by saying, yes, I understand. And I'm getting better. I mean, I have to try. I have to put the emotions to action and action into motion. Honey, he's saying anything. Tracy said, you do understand it's over, right? He's like, yeah, but I just need to get the, she said, it is over. So Sayorra said, will you move out today without fighting? So then he agreed. But honey, I would have to have an officer present. And then I would move. Honey, I would completely pack up and I would vanish because he can't be trusted. So Tracy seems to be a bit nervous of his reaction because she's saying to him, she needs to leave. Okay, it's over. Do you understand that? And Sayorra looked at him and she said, yes, I just want you to know that I'm done. So, but he feels like that he can accomplish whatever he puts his mind to. Sir, it's too much. Please accept that it is over. It's too much. I don't know why men can't grasp the concept that the relationship has ended. We see too many stories on the news and everywhere with men that come back and it ends in fatality because they have not accepted that the relationship is over. So she said, you said that the last time. And baby, he started to stare her down. Do y'all hear me? He was staring her down. Tracy said, JD, honey, he was not paying attention to her. She said, it is not okay for you to stare at her like that. It's threatening. Child, when she said that, he was still staring. Honey, he might need a restraining order. He is obsessed with her. So Tracy asked Sayorra to step outside. She said, go ahead and step outside. So she tells JD that his behaviors will not change until he addresses it. So here he go. Can I go? Honey, I was scared for him to go outside while she was still there. I was like, oh, child, please make sure that she is somewhere far away from him before he leaves to go outside. In the next scene, we're at the family meeting. Everyone is sitting there. He has his shades on. He seems very threatening, okay? Those shades are another intimidation tactic because he has those shades on so he can make eye contact with her so that nobody can see exactly how he's looking at her. Honey, I've been there and I've had to wear shades to cover up the black eyes. When I saw him with those shades on, I said, girl, don't you ever talk to him again. Child, I was screaming at that screen. So Tracy comes out and she says, normally this is where we would ask for the blessing, but not this time. Here go his dad. What? Dad, where were y'all when your son was acting a nut? Okay, sister, where were you in your wig when your brother was acting a fool? Like, we didn't see anything else from y'all. So don't sit here and act like you're surprised because this will not continue. He needs therapy. All of y'all do. So Tracy said, Sayorra has decided that this relationship is no longer right for her. She's identified patterns in the relationship and she believes that they won't resolve themselves by staying in this relationship. Honey, and her family was looking relieved as hell. They was like, oh my God, thank goodness. So Tracy tells JD, she said, look, as dear as you are, you're not ready for a healthy relationship. So his dad said, they need God, point blank and period. Dad, yes, we need a little bit more Jesus, honey, but your son needs therapy as well to work through those abandonment issues. I'm sure he doesn't even believe it's over. Okay, he's the type to keep showing up to convince you to come back because they've changed. Honey, I know the type. Show up every day. Show up at your job. Show up at your outing. Show up at your home. He seems like that type. So Tracy said, yeah, I understand that, but they can do that separately. Honey, I know that's right, child. So her mom is like, in her confessional, she said she's free. It was an abusive relationship and now she can start to heal. His dad still doesn't want to see the fault in his son. And his dad acted like he didn't want it to be over. I am almost certain that this behavior that JD the third is exhibiting is the same behavior that made his mom vanish. Child, I'm going to have to do a little research on that, child. Let me find out I can uncover some stuff and help some people solve some mysteries. Because, child, this right here just don't sit right in my spirit. So JD said, I still don't want to believe that it's over, but, it's over and I made a mistake. I told y'all, I still don't want to believe that it's over. Honey, it is over. So Sayorra said, he promised this before. He promised that he would change, but as soon as they got back together, he did the same old thing. And that was the end of the episode. But the update reads, Sayorra and JD had no contact for a month and they are not together. She's in her final year of law school and he's still pursuing his real estate career. She continues her website to pay the bills. I am so happy that the two of them are no longer conversing. Now, it's only been a month when the update was given, but I'm hoping that the two of them never speak again. Girl, please block him on all social media. Please make sure you are very vigilant when you go out and don't put your locations on your post. You really need to make sure that you're careful. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Did you watch the episode? Were your feelings going up and down like mine? Because as I was watching, I was having different feelings about what was happening in the episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.